Hello there, my very good friends. I'm Andy, that's Adam. You had questions, we have answers. Let's go.
First question today comes from Dean Sheets, who says, "Hey gents, what is your dream match for MJF with anyone in WWE and for LA Knight in AEW?"
It would be a bit basic of me to say that my dream match for MJF in WWE would be Cody Rhodes,
Yes.
but my dream match for MJF in WWE would be Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I would love to see them tie it back up after so much time has passed in their careers since the last time they did it, and so many different things have happened to them. MJF has become a world champion. Cody Rhodes has not become a world champion, but become one of the biggest stars in the world after jumping ship to another promotion. I think there's all kinds of fun nudge, nudge, wink, wink stuff you could throw in there. And I really think it would be a blast. I'm well aware that I've just taken the biggest heel in one company and paired him up with the biggest babyface in the other. But given their shared history in a completely different environment, I think it'd be sick.
I'd love to see that, and I think one day we may well do, because I hope we get to see lots of people jumping around from company to company. I'd go The Miz, obviously. No.
Well, he has spent his whole career, imitating the... I'm joking.
I think Roman versus MJF could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Or someone like, I don't know why this name popped into my head, Edge.
Ooh.
Like if MJF went after Edge and said, I'm gonna retire you.
That would be brutal, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? He'd do like neck stuff and then he'd be like really seething about it.
And MJF versus LA Knight. I know we're not allowed to do that with these
my
parameters on the mic.
The promo battle would be absolutely sensational.
And I want to see LA Knight versus CM Punk, please.
Oh my goodness gracious me, they would tear each other apart. It would be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see MJF face if he ever jumps over? Do you think he should go to WWE? I don't know, bidding war of 2024.
I think long term, not yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let us know, the comment section. It's not our first. My first question of the day comes from Triple DS. He's got 3 Nintendos. Wants to know if
Fancy Dan.
he must know Steve Nintendo himself to
Indeed.
have 3 DSs. However, he wants to know, or they want to know, my apologies, if Triple H left WWE and began his own promotion, who would go with him? And how would he compare? I think that's a really interesting question. So the idea of Triple H forming his own company.
God, yeah.
I think you kind of have to look at the people who...
A lot of skulls in there, wouldn't there?
Oh, 100%. There'd be so much Warhammer.
Metal.
And Metallica, St. Anger era.
Yeah.
I think that a good place to start would be the people that he has brought back to the company and promoted in the company.
Hit Row, good point.
Hit Row, obviously. But on that note, even though he's not always been particularly strongly pushed since coming back, I think Karrion Kross would be up there like a rat up a drain pipe.
He'd have, if you know when you do like 2K and it's like, right, pick your big heel, pick your big babyface. I feel like people like Gargano and Cross would be the first names on his team.
Ciampa as well. He always pushed him very well in NXT.
What if you go after someone like Mercedes and Moné?
I think so. She's
got a good connection with him, hasn't she?
Yeah, and like when Mercedes and Naomi had their WWE issues, it was with Vince and Johnny Ace. So they're much likelier to go. In fact, like, you could probably throw the whole 4 Horsewomen movement into that, because they'll have loyalty to Triple H because of what he did with them in NXT. Anything. It's a really interesting group. It'd actually be a great promotion.
I'd be fascinated. In this weird scenario, because I know there are other companies. So I'm not sure if other people are aware of this, other than AEW and WWE, Impact, MLW, New Japan, etc., etc., etc. Right? But if do I use his name? Yes, on it. Elon Musk decides, no, I'm going to sell Twitter and someone's going to pay what I paid for it. And I'm going to launch a wrestling promotion with Papa H at the helm. Like a 3-way triangle of where does talent go would be... Because right now, at the end of the day, your Ospreys and what have you in New Japan, they get to occasionally pop up in AEW. And like you say, people like Naomi... Trinity Fatu are now in Impact, so it's not the only game in town.
Yeah.
But right now, if a major talent's name comes up as a free agent, it's a push-pull between AEW and WWE. But if it was skull promotion, then I don't know. Who else would we? Ciampa? He loves Ciampa.
Yeah, Ciampa 100%. I think he loves Bronson Reed as well.
Yes.
I think he'd jump over there. And in terms of main eventers, I mean... It's interesting to think about for sure. I think like people...
Could he tempt Gunther?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If Triple H left and Gunther suddenly was told by Vince McMahon, you're going to become a dancing, I don't know.
Triple H leaves and Vince says, about that second name.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's revisit that.
Let's bring it back, brother. But yeah, a third promotion would be fun. If we just take an insane billionaire. I got a good one. Shane McMahon, because his dad hates him. He'd go and work for Triple H.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh,
Class.
the bidding war of Jay Sedgwick.
So close.
Gives
so
us our
close.
next question. Morning, gents. With everything going on with the Bloodline, could you see Solo finally turning on Roman at SummerSlam? Or could you guys possibly see Jimmy turn on Jay and be the mastermind behind all that's happened since Night of Champions? Also, shout out to Michael Sidgwick for almost having the same last name as me. Yeah, I don't know how this one plays out. It's not a win for Jey Uso. I hate to break it to everybody.
Yeah, he's losing. He's losing. I think Solo is going to turn on the big dog, and I think that is going to be a pay-per-view main event before WrestleMania.
Rumble?
Rumble, entirely possible. One of the biggest shows of the year, the biggest storyline in years. Makes sense to keep that continuing going through that. I think that Solo will turn on Roman. I don't think that Jimmy will be revealed as like a mastermind or anything like that. I think that this is going to be a relatively straightforward and quite predictable in a lot of ways process, but sometimes in pro wrestling, in fact most times I would argue in pro wrestling, the most predictable, obvious option is the best option. And I think this is going to be a crumbling of Roman's family bonds. The bloodline is going to get weaker and weaker until he falls from his perch at Mania, and I think that Solo turning on him and challenging for the title will be part of that.
Yeah, I don't want to see Jimmy turn on Jay. I'd like them to just break off and be good Usi lads for a bit.
Just be nice men.
There is a story to be told, yes, of Jimmy just being so beaten into submission by Roman recently that he goes, I was probably better off in the bloodline, to be honest. But I like the long-term storyline, and I also like the mirroring from last year, if I'm not mistaken, of dominant WrestleMania with all his family. SummerSlam, he gets taken to the distance by Jay. Maybe he even needs some help from Solo Sikoa, for example, to retain the title, but he does. Solo splits with him after a War Games loss, where you can have that beautiful visual, and editor, write this down, thumbnail of him with Sammy, part of his family, remember, and then him just on his own now. Then Rumble, Solo Sikoa, and then WrestleMania main event, Cody Rhodes. Yep, the end of the bloodline,
Rubber
basically.
effing chicken. I love to see it. By the way, if you're wondering where we got these questions from, YouTube community tab, it's right there. Just go to our page, check out. We're doing a bunch of different stuff over there, from weekly polls, questions like this. We'll have more discussions and stuff up. Check out, get involved, and you can be featured on one of these videos.
And subscribe and ring the bell, ding ding.
Be nice. Be nice. Our next question today, we got a load of these, comes from Gerald Merrill, who asks, simple but loaded question, do you think we'll ever get CMFTR versus the Elite? Why or why not? Yes, because money.
Yes, and I think the issues. Well, I forgot what the phrase is, but it's getting slowly less at each other's throats, I think. Not yet. Yeah. I don't expect, despite Andy's recent news report that he wants to be involved, I don't expect CM Punk to be involved in Blood and Guts this year, and it may already have been announced by the time this video goes out. It's gonna, I hope we haven't got this question later, but we all know who it's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Jericho and Ibushi.
We got a rough idea. If this video does come out after that, sorry we got it wrong, but if the video editor could just, like, I don't know, put a line over our mouths that says who it actually is, make us look smart. Very good.
We always said it was going to be Will Ospreay.
yeah. And Colt Cabana. I don't know.
I mean, put the rumours to bed. But yes, we're getting CMFTR versus the Elite long term because, like you say, money talks in this business.
Money talks and Larry barks, baby. Who's up? Is it you?
It's me, I think.
It's
now.
You. Let's go.
Wayne Carter says, which title match we most like to see at WrestleMania 40? Cody versus Seth or Roman versus Gunther?
Oh, that's interesting because I want the opposite.
Yes,
I want the exact opposite.
Same.
If LA Knight isn't going to be involved in there. So, I think you've done that on purpose, you cheeky scamp. So would I rather have Roman versus Gunther or... I think I would rather have Cody versus Seth.
Yes.
Right? I think that Gunther versus Roman, we've never seen that properly before. It'd be awesome. However, I'd love Cody versus Seth as a rivalry, and I do need to see one more match from them. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, legacy, it makes the most sense. Like you say, you could turn either of them arguably heel. I wouldn't do it, but if we have to get there, they either could play a great heel for the opponent. Obviously, we've got that history with Seth, but heel Cody now going against babyface Seth. maybe. And Roman Gunther is a fascinating prospect, but yeah, right now does not work.
Yeah.
Two baddies being baddies.
I literally want the opposite. I want Gunther versus Seth, or LA Knight versus Seth, and Cody versus Roman. But
Yes.
We'll see. Good
But
question.
Cody versus Roman
Yeah.
at WrestleMania 40. Please, God, finish the story.
Our next question today comes from Dono TY2GDG Day. Sorry.
Normally I get abuse from people like that on the internet.
Yeah, Steve with 7 numbers
Yes.
afterwards. Hello, you two beautiful legends. I mean, we're beautiful in that graphic behind us.
God, that was a long
these
old
days.
time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, my goodness. I have a question for each of you. This is cursed. Andy, what's your least favourite impression that Wilborn does? Stacks. And Adam, what would it sound like if Tony Khan was in the flipping Judgment Day?
Right tonight, we're in the f***ing Judgment Day! On the other side!
Fair enough?
Do you want me to go and get Stack? I think he was in the office earlier.
Absolutely not. Not a
you
chance
like-
in hell.
If you like Stacks, or if you have no idea what we're talking about. By the way, I mentioned Stacks to the gaming lot the other day, and that obviously they don't know who he is.
Bewildered.
But if you like or want to know what Stacks is, check out the NXT Preview and Review podcast, because let's just say we've got another wage coming into WhatCulture.
Oh, not on my budget, you don't, brother. Anyway, let's move on.
Who will cash in their Money in the Bank briefcase first? Io Sky or Senor Priest, writes Stephen Galtz.
Stephen Galtz. Oh, I feel like the Priest one is coming a little bit sooner.
Ooh.
And I feel like it probably should, because the women's Money in the Bank briefcase has been held since Carmella. She has the 280 odd day or whatever it was. Since then, the other people, 5 or 6 people, have held it for a combined 5 days or something, right? It's a flash in the pan, and I think Io should hold on to it for a little bit longer. Well, there's some very interesting stuff you can do after she cashes in with Bayley. I think that WWE is going all in on this Judgment Day tension, Finn challenging, cost match, Seth in the middle of it. I think they're going to continue down that route, and I think that will happen within the next few months. Personally, I'm not in love with it, purely because I'm really personally invested in the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I think they're lots of fun. I think they should be friends forever, and I think they should never have any issues, which I understand is unrealistic in real life. However, for me and my preferences, I hope he never cashes in and they're friends for life.
Question, do you think they're going to do the gimmick? Remember they did this with Seth, where you have a title shot despite the fact you're already the briefcase holder? They did do that with Seth, didn't they? The triple threat with Cena and Brock.
I don't retain information, so I
Yes,
don't know.
I believe that was the case. Maybe I've just dreamt it or whatever. I do apologise if that's the case. So do you reckon they might do that at SummerSlam? Because I don't really see what they're doing with Seth just yet for the World Heavyweight Championship. So if you had Seth versus Finn versus Damian Priest, and you're like, well, we'll do the old gimmick, we'll work together. Wait a second, we inexplicably haven't had the conversation about who wins the championship, and then. Yeah, because I just don't want it to be, Finn versus Seth again, and then, actually, Damien, I will cash in this time, maybe just after Finn wins. But, I don't know, I think maybe they're teasing this now, and then they'll put that by. I would have probably said Io Sky, because she's already, like you say, the moment she didn't cash in on the Premium Live event, she instantly became the second longest women's briefcase holder, because it was on a Saturday. She's not going to do it on a Sunday, is she? Let's be honest. So automatically she goes to 2 days with the briefcase, which is already the second longest reign. Io Sky, I think, may well do it. They may well want to change things up in amongst, and they sort of teased it on SmackDown. They're not going to have Rhea Ripley do it. Have her do it on Rhea Ripley, I don't think. So yeah, Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca Belair are going to tear each other to pieces. Maybe she cashes in then, but all I hope is both cash-ins are successful, because when they fail, everyone looks dumb.
Yeah. Even when it's Baron Corbin, you don't want that. Poor Baron Corbin, man.
Or Damien Sandow.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Aaron.
Is it me or you next? You?
Me, yeah. Let's go over to Cam Timmy 9905. Hey guys, if WWE and AEW were to trade anyone, who do you think it would be and why?
Who do I think it would be, or who do I want it to be?
Well,
I want to see some people free. Give Candice LeRae a flipping chance.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's swap some people around. Let's go.
Who do we think it'll be? Okay.
Who do I think it would be? I think it would be someone practical. I think it would be someone like Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford.
Yeah, they could do great stuff in WWE.
I agree. I like these people a lot, but I think Kip's act in particular is a little bit more suited to WWE. That being said, the guy has been good in AEW and he's been extremely loyal to that company. Like, he was there in the trenches during the worst era in the pandemic, and I think he's probably got a job there for life. And I think Penelope is just awesome and really underused. But I could definitely see them going over and thriving. So I'm going to put them over as a package deal.
Very nice.
A package deal. And as far as people who I think could conceivably go to AEW, well, I've got to go for two people now. They're not paired up. I'll go for Mustafa Ali, even though he's down in NXT and doing something a bit more substantial. I think he could do great stuff over on the other side.
Yeah.
And in turn, let's grab someone from the women's division as well. Who's currently underutilized? That's really great. Mia Yim. Like, Mia Yim, she's never as good in WWE as she is elsewhere.
So she never seems to be allowed to be on the same show as her other half.
Yeah, it's really mean. And I think she's absolutely brilliant. She just doesn't seem to get those chances in WWE. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
I think if you're asking me who I think is going to be some of the next to jump, I mean, as much as they're pushing him right now, maybe Drew, maybe.
Yeah, Drew.
Here's a hell of a trade that if they actually would just, you know, when people say like, oh God, I wish football teams would just go, instead of being all about the money or whatever, just go, look, we've kind of done everything we can with this person. Why don't you have a go with them? Or they just would like to go somewhere else. Do you reckon, no money, no extra players, no bonus, no add-ons like football people do you reckon if you sat there, and I'm not comparing them, comment section, I'm just saying it'd be intriguing to see what they'd look like, and
Tranquilo.
Drew McIntyre for Ricky Starks.
Ooh, I think that'd be
Come on, let's get around this table, let's talk about it.
I do think there's a good chance Ricky ends up in WWE, but...
And in the women's division, I'll trade, and then this is the other bit. So I'll just get abuse from both sides as being shields for either WWE or AEW. I'll trade Britt Baker for someone I think is being massively underutilized.
It's got to be a franchise player if we're trading Britt Baker.
Well, I want to say Candice LeRae because I want her to get a chance.
She has the ability to be a franchise player. She's just not that because for some reason they don't use her.
And let's trade Miro for R-Truth. There you go. I've wound everyone up now.
Let's trade Veer and Sangha for FTR. Like for like. Yeah, similar caliber.
Yeah, actually, let's trade Jinder for MJF. Both former world champions.
Boom. Let's
current
go.
world champions in some places. Who is the best WWE faction of all time? Writes AJ Ryan Sims.
The Shield. No hesitation, no question. Boom. What did they do? They didn't go boom, boom. We're the Shield. Yeah, for me it's the Shield. Complete shock to the system in a pretty sterile period for a lot of times. Always at the top, always prominent. Trios matches kicked ass, whipped ass. They felt genuinely dangerous and threatening in an era where that was quite difficult. And then they had one of the best breakups of all time. And what the trio have gone on to do individually is nothing short of remarkable. It's the Shield for me. Recency bias.
Real breath of fresh air, weren't they?
Yeah. Social outcasts.
I did think the Bloodline are doing pretty bloody well.
Yeah, the Bloodline should be in that conversation.
They are genuinely up there for me. It's one of my most fascinating storylines, particularly since I've been doing this as a job more than just like, oh, that's a nice little distraction. But, I mean, I tell people the circuit was the best, so Degeneration X.
Fair enough. Right. I think we need the right to censor in here to sort you out.
Good point.
But yeah, I'm going with the Shield. You're going DX. Who are you going for? Let us know. The Oddities, eh? Remember them? Dungeon of Doom. That was WCW. Never mind. Anyway, the Yeti.
Is there anyone else? I mean, the New Day.
Yeah.
You've got two former world champions in there. They should have three, in my opinion.
They've never split up. They're just friends.
Yeah, it's
they're
just nice.
Friends forever. Yeah. There's people have nostalgia for things like the Ministry.
Also, you said Shock the System. I did think Undisputed Era deserve a mention.
Yeah, they were
three amazingly talented guys and a grandpa. Like, fair play.
I mean, for them to get so much good work out of George Hackenschmidt, his tenure was really impressive.
We almost got through an entire video without going after Bobby Fish, but here we are again.
The thing is, you can take the piss out of Bobby Fish because Bobby Fish is 10 years older than us,
or
thereabouts, and he looks much better than either of us.
Yeah.
So,
plus, the only way he'd hear about this is if a nephew rings him up and tells him about it over his telephone. Hello, Fish residence.
He still sends carrier pigeons. But pigeons don't like fish, so I don't know. Right, final question on my side comes from Robert Smith. Shout out to The Cure.
Bobby!
Saying, with Joe choking out Punk at the end of their match, do you think Joe is going to cost him in the finals? This may be aged a little by the time this goes out, but for me, no. I just think they're going to use that post-match angle and they're going to have another match.
Yes.
That's what
Joe, Punk didn't win sufficiently in the eyes of Joe, so we're going to have Joe Punk 5.
He roly-polied him, didn't he?
Yes, potentially for a title. Who knows? But I think Ricky Starks going to have a valiant effort, but unfortunately just fall short because, Punk has got, nothing against Ricky Starks, but Adam Cole followed by CM Punk, that's a hell of a lineage for the Owen Hart Cup. And I also like the idea of breaking the thing of, don't touch the trophy. What's it called? Not tradition, the superstition.
There you go.
I think Punker wins it, and on EET, I hope it's Willow Nightingale. And that might be completely wrong by the time this video comes out, but I still think
I should really put this video out on Wednesday, shouldn't I? Just to make sure it's actually all on time. But hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
If you like this video, you're going to love this one right here, and we will see you soon.